Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. I couldn't sleep, so I thought about talking. I thought maybe talking about deep existential concepts about reality could help me sleep. I wanted to share with the viewers how this year my experiences, my life, how I feel about myself, and where the world is going, and all of that is changing. You know, life is very fascinating. You know, it's like 100-year journey, and throughout this journey, you discover why you were on the journey. Earlier today, I was talking about how could there be novelty and how could there be individual identity? How can we remain as individuals in a changing world? In tonight's episode, I want to tell the viewers that it's important to, as much as you have moments where you question reality in order to understand it, that we also appreciate what we understand. Whether we bring morality into this or not, all human beings, they're existing as some sort of energetic movement. When I say appreciating how yourself is being something, there are moments in life where we may feel more inclined to exist in our inner realms. Like right now, I'm sitting in a car in front of this coffee shop using the coffee shop Wi-Fi, okay? Now, I'm in this moment. My inner realms can fathom in the future, you know, I'm on like a private jet or some important people have invited me or something like that, you know? And so my inner realms gives me access to different locations that I am not currently existing in, but I can experience in. So what it is imagine there's two types of existential force. There's two types of energy that animates. There is an energy that animates in accordance to substance and shape, but then there's an energy that animates in accordance to shape. You see what it is? It's kind of like being an architect and drawing the blueprint of the building, but what it is both the architecture plan, the blueprint is the representation of the building, and the building itself, its physical existence is a representation of it, right? So what I'm trying to tell the viewers is that the reason we have minds in this world, we have the additional dimension of consciousness, is to be able to access environments that we're not currently existing in, or environments we used to exist in, right? Like yesterday, I remember I have these wooden floors in my house and I just like slided on them, with my socks and whatever. Socks. I think that's every kid's like childhood. You know, every kid who had socks. Yeah. But the important thing about this, find a new song. Hold on, guys. Oh man, I haven't given a talk over burial. It happens, you know. Guys, the music I'm playing in the background is one of the most revolutionary music ever. All right, back to it. So, appreciating how yourself is being something. You know, I realized something fascinating. A lot of people run after spirituality, or they run after truth, thinking that truth is something beyond what they are. Because they consider truth to be beyond what they are looking for something that they are not. Do you see? I noticed something very unique. I noticed that human being here is. Then they realized that it was a create. You see, I did search for truth. But you know what I realized? I realized that before I found truth, the truth seeker dissolved. And I realized that where reality is starting from or being questioned from is not just an external position, it is also an internal position. You see, we're not creatures that have bodies and minds. We are the awareness where the body and mind moves within. When I say appreciate how yourself is being something, you know, this life gives you various senses of archetypes. You know, it's like a chemical reaction. You know, sometimes before I do anything, you know, I feel like I'm a chemical. I feel the moment is like another chemical. And when I interact, it's like the chemical reaction changes both, right? So really, we are in this world to, in some sense, accumulate new perceptions, therefore rendering what you're being. This is something that if you're a perfectionist, it's hard to do. Do you know? And sometimes, you know, you shouldn't accept yourself too soon. And sometimes you should have accepted yourself before you were even in the room, you know. I realized this in my youth. You know, at the time I didn't realize. You know, in my youth I was like, you know, this shy person who didn't trust the outer realm, so I was just living alone in my inner realms pretty much. Do you know? But then I when I look back at my youth, I wonder what was the problem. And I realized the biggest problem that new human beings have entering the world is distrust. If something makes you distrust your world, it's pretty much the conquer, divide and conquer strategy. You know, you know, there was a time where let me share something with the viewers. Okay. There came a moment where I developed a collective identity. Okay. And this collective identity wasn't that like a group of people gathered around me. It was just for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not just a human being on earth. I'm a member of a species. So it's been a while now, many years, where my context of thinking about reality has shifted in the sense of not just what I deserve, not just what an individual deserves, what does the species deserve? Okay? And based on this articulation, right, I thought about it that, you know, sometimes occurs, what they do is in some sense, they hires the hacker to make their system hack proof. Okay, and so as a philosopher that cares for the destiny and the future of the human species, I was like, okay, how does our species prepare for invasion, for extraterrestrial invasion, both internal means and external means? And this understanding of the internal and external, what I'm trying to tell the viewers is that I put myself in the point of view of an extraterrestrial invader in order to figure out how I can defend the species with, in case if there were probabilities of extraterrestrial invasion, right? I thought about that, you know, it's something that you can think about. It's like a tsunami in the future, right? It's like a problem in the future. It could come from above the clouds, right? It could come from below the clouds, whatever. Do you know? But it was just this idea that I wanted to figure out. I wanted to build in like, it's this feeling I have. I don't know. I've had this for a long time. It's this feeling that we have to increase the defense system of the human species, right? And its defense against itself, against its others, and against the world. 3 defense systems. You know, so I thought about it, that what was a way, if I was an extraterrestrial, let's say I was like some sort of whatever, some force, some anti-human force, right? Just hypothetically, I was thinking, I was like, how would I go about dividing and conquering and just like taking over the human species? I thought that, right? I thought like, okay, if the evilest person is thinking this, right? And then the good want to, human beings have a heart, and heart means there's a decency resonance to every being. right? It's pretty much based on how you've been raised. Not just how you've been raised, what you've been exposed to as a conscious entity in this lifetime, pretty much. Alright guys, the Burial album is too otherworldly. Let me see. There we go. This is also one of my favorite songs in existence. Yeah. Many people don't know this, but I run a bunch of music channels as well. You know, anybody who wants to hear music while doing things, check out the Green Infinity. Anyways, to continue. Anyways, back to it, dear viewers. You know, what I'm trying to tell you in this episode is that you are a creature in a world. The world is unknown. You think you know yourself based on your name and objective dimensions. Based on your objective and subjective dimensions, you are positioning yourself as a known entity. But once you realize the unknown ways that the world moves, you will discover your unknown self. Once you have contentment with your unknown self, you will be established in a presence of a being, not the personality or the shape of a being. What that means is you comprehend your shapelessness while you have shape. Because it's very difficult to be a shapeless being and then self-realize yourself, you know? You know, this eternal invisible being was like, I've been trying to look at my own face, but I don't have any. Let me tell you something very incredible about spirituality. It's the realization of no beginnings and no endings. And when you realize this, you will laugh about the opportunity of human life. You are no small thing. You're the biggest event here. And you know, this world is designed to make us feel alone so we don't rely on ourselves alone. This is why we're not solipsists. This is why your mind is not God. Do you see what I'm saying? Like a solipsist is someone who is defined as what they see is the only reality. So right now, like just from my perspective, my point of view, this is the only thing that's real. Like others are not real. It's like if others are real, it's because of my mind they're real, you know? But that's not the case. We are here to realize, or I should say it more elegantly, we're here to realize we're not here to be alone. We are here to realize we can never be. That life is a collective activity. Life takes care of its own. The living belong to a very honorable kingdom. And there are celestial kingdoms, by the way.